Hi, I'm Liam Haber from the Nocturnal. Nice to meet you too.
Likewise,
Pleasure
how
to
are
meet
you,
you,
Liam?
Liam.
So I've seen the movie. It's wonderful. Your story is so captivating. But I think what's most amazing, especially for you, Fox, is the story is told with your own footage. It's home movies. It's your own story that's telling it. So for both of you, what was it like first seeing the footage that you shot privately being put into a movie like this, and second, telling your own story and having it be in your own words?
Oh, what is it? Humbling, just amazing. Believing that when you're faithful over a few things, God will make you ruler over many. So to be able to have had the footage that I shot, where I just wanted to document our family story for my husband and make sure that he's a part of our children's lives, even though society by because of our actions have taken him from me, um, is I'm honored to say the least.
hmm
And for you, Rob, what was it like kind of seeing your family's story being told in that format? I mean, you were incarcerated for far too long, and to see your family being put through the ringer in that way, it must be an interesting kind of watching experience for sure.
Interesting is definitely a good word to describe it, but
To say
true
the
to
least.
say
So
the least,
Mhm.
right? For me, as I would have to say that it was bittersweet, only because of the fact that you get an opportunity because time has been halted, in the putting together of a film. So it allows you to be able to go back and visually witness things that you were not witness to because of your absence. So it also gives you that moment where you are realizing how much time has actually lapsed when your children go from just being past their stages of taking their first steps to where now they have beards and mustaches and are contemplating things that that you never thought or imagined that they would be contemplating at this particular point. Sweet in the sense that it was the first time that all of our family was able to see the archive that Fox had managed to put together over space and time, and to see it in such a beautiful way as to how it is that Garrett put the film itself together was indeed a sweet moment for our entire family.
Something, an amazing through line in the film about kind of activism running throughout your family, which is especially right now in 2020 with everything that's been going on and the amounts of greater focus on injustice in this world. It's a very important topic. What is it that, I mean, you both did something right in raising smart kids and getting yourselves into a smart and into the fight that was worth having. What was it like kind of teaching your children from afar, but also in person? Like, this is what is worth talking about and fighting about and getting things done, I guess.
Fox was a fighter when I first met her, and I think that much of the same can be said about me if you were to ask her. And just passing on traits that were very much a part of who we were. Um, it was just a natural flow of things, I guess, for us to be able to pass those same teachings on to our children. Because as much as we would like to think that the world is a fair place, or to think that the world is a kind-hearted place, or whatever. Much of the opposite can be true, and it takes a fighter spirit in order to advance oneself to succeed in life.
and I would like to add that, with Rob and I raising the boys, the biggest piece that I think we gave our children was just the truth, as well as a fighter spirit. But the truth in that, yes, we made a bad mistake as a family, but it did not mean that we were bad people. And we were not going to allow the labels that the system of oppression wants to put on you, on a family, weigh us down. We will rise above our condition because that's just who we are. We made a bad mistake. We're not bad people.
Amazingly put. Thank you so much. And I'm excited to have more people continue to watch Time because I think it's very much worth seeing for everyone. So thank you.
Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Be safe.
Hi, my name is Liam Haber from the Nocturnal.
Hi,
How are you?
Liam. Good, thank you.
So I saw Time. It's wonderful. It's heartbreaking. It's a story that needs to be seen, honestly. But I think it's pretty incredible that you took this from a short film and then turned it into a feature, the short film alone, and then kind of moved it into this different story. How did that transition work from taking what was supposed to be one small story and making it into a fairly epically lengthed or epically sized feature?
Well, I think as you said, I mean, the intention was not necessarily to make a feature. And I think that had I been thinking about that during production, it would have certainly affected so much of the process. But for so long was thinking about it as sort of a sister film to Alone, which was 13 minutes long. And I think that, you know, when Fox sort of presented me with 100 hours of her family archive, which I was not aware of, it really presented both an amazing challenge and opportunity to think about how to construct this uh, from several different kind of perspectives. One that was very materially oriented, right? Like the archive had a different texture, a different feel. It was in color. There were so many things that were different about it from what I had sort of shot. And so much of the aesthetics for me had been sort of extrapolated from Alone, from this short film. So I think, you know, one of the entry point was trying to think from a sort of superficial and aesthetic level, how do these two different elements coexist? And then it was also really important, and Gabe Rhodes, the film's editor, and I really thought about at what points do we want to be weaving in and out of the archive and in a way that is, you know, purely emotional, and that is really pushing the story forward. And I think for us, ultimately, what allowed us to expand the film in the way that we did was to really lean into this idea of talking about incarceration and telling the story with full confidence and in a way that was purely rooted in love and sort of the mythology of love and the relationships that existed within the family. Love was sort of the baseline of the film to be moving forward while also being backwards at the same time, right? Like we could oscillate a lot, quite a bit, because we weren't trying to focus so much on sort of a more literal chronology, if you will.
Yeah. And this is a very interesting moment in American history to be blunt about it. Between COVID, between recent Black Lives Matter and other protests about the police brutality, this movie was completed much earlier this year. It premiered at Sundance before coming to New York Film Festival. Do you think that the impact that the movie has changed over the past 9 months from the first time people saw it? Like, do you notice different meanings in it in your own viewing of the movie as well?
No, because this is you know, I mean, from the moment that the new world was established, the enslavement of millions of people has been a problem. Has, you know, so justice has always been relevant, and you know, I don't think that I think that if the film came out 3 years ago, or if the film was going to come out, you know, in 2 years from now, you know, well, I shouldn't say, I should be more hopeful about the future, but I think that, you know, there's really there's always going to be a relevant and appropriate time for justice to be a central conversation, you know, in our country. And I do think that COVID and sort of forced isolation has offered maybe people who don't have that time typically to be more connected with themselves. And then hopefully find time for compassion. But ultimately, no, I don't think that I think that this year has been more revelatory than it has been about a disaster. And it's just revealing chronic problems that have always existed.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Well, thank you so much. And I'm excited to honestly see Time again and again, hopefully to spread it to friends of mine. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Liam. Appreciate it.